from different worlds. You like to laugh at me when I look at other girls. You call me crazy, make you wonder why I'm such a baby, 'cause the dolphins make me cry. But there's nothing I can do. Only wanna be with you. Hey guys, today we're going to look at that song, which is Only Wanna Be With You by Hootie and the Blowfish. One of my favorite Hootie and the Blowfish songs of all time. They got a lot of good ones, but this is a really fun one to play on guitar. And so we're going to look at that. It's really just two main parts, and then there's a little like solo breakdown that they don't do in the song. So just full disclaimer, Hootie and the Blowfish do not do this. But I think it sounds pretty cool, so I want to show it to you, and then you can use it if you'd like, or just disregard it, either way. Alright, so let's just start with the verses, which sound like this. They go... So it's just two chords back and forth. That's all the verses are, okay? So you're gonna need a capo on the 2nd fret for this song, and we're gonna be in the key of F sharp. So what we're gonna do is the first, now I'm gonna just tell you the chords relative to the capo. Okay, so when I say an E chord, I just mean to do an E shape that you would do if it was an open. So we're gonna start with an E chord. All right, and here's the strum pattern. You got this. So slow and down be. You kind of want to accent by hitting the root note. Right? So you got the E chord to start. Now the next chord we're going to do is kind of like, I think it's an A variation. Leave in the comments below if you know what this is. But here's what you're going to do. So you're not going to play the low E chord, or the low E string, excuse me. And you're going to play the A string open. Then you're going to do, so again, these are relative to the capo. You're going to do the 4th fret of the D string and the 2nd fret of the G string, and then everything else is open. So the B and the high E are open. So that way you're going to switch. The way it makes it easiest for me is to use your ring finger and your pointer finger, so that you're just taking your middle finger off from the E, and then it just allows you to do a quick shift back and forth. Okay, so the verses are... See how you're just going back and forth between those two chords? They don't really change there. Alright, and then the only other part is like the chorus of the song. And the chorus of the song happens 3 or 4 times, but they kind of differ in their words. But the chords are the same each time. And so it goes like this. It goes... And so what that is you're going to start by playing some kind of, I guess it'd be some kind of F sharp chord. Again, leave in the comments below. I'm not a huge music theory guy, so I don't really know, but I'd love to learn. Some kind of F sharp chord, I would assume. F sharp minor. And so what you're going to do is you're going to use your pointer finger to get the 2nd fret of the E string. You're going to mute the A string. You're not going to play that. So I like to mute it with like the back, kind of the meat of my pointer finger there. Then you're going to use your ring finger on the 4th fret of the D string and your pinky finger on the 4th fret of the G string, and then leave B and high E open. So it's... And then we got an A chord here, but we're gonna leave it kind of open. Okay, so I guess like an A sustain maybe. Really embarrassing myself with trying to figure out what these chord names are. Some kind of A chord. Okay, so you're not gonna play the low E. Then you're going to play the A string open, and then you're going to do the 2nd fret of the D string and the 2nd fret of the G string, open B, open E. Now I like to play it with my ring finger and pinky, because you can also really quickly throw in another variation of this A by taking your pinky off and playing the 1st fret of the G string. Okay? So the choruses are just... So then when you strum the A chord, I like to just pick the high E, B, G, D, and then A. So you're like picking up. And then back into the verses. So the last part I want to show you again, this is not in the song, so you're not going to be like looking for this and find it. And if you don't want to do this, and that right there is the Hootie and the Blowfish. You figured it out, you're done. Okay, but a cool little like breakdown before you get into the very last verse is to do this. So what that is you're playing the E chord, you're playing that one that we already learned, and then you're sliding up again. And what this is you're going to play an open A string, and then your ring finger is going to go down to the 5th fret of the D, and your pointer finger is going to go down to the 4th fret of the G, open B, and then open high E. So you're going to go, and then walk that back down. And I just do that again, and it sounds kind of cool. But you can totally leave that out, because again, that's not in the Hootie the Blowfish thing. So I hope you found that helpful. That's the entirety of the song. And so let me know in the comments below, number 1, what those chords are called, because I'd like to know that. And 2, if you found this helpful, and any questions you might have. Thank you.